Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk about how I get my flawless foundation and face makeup routine. These are just kind of tips that I've learned through trial and error doing my own makeup, and also from, watching countless YouTube tutorials and all of that. I've kind of created a routine that works best for me to make my face makeup look as flawless as possible. So I am going to share those tips with you today. If you guys want to see the tips that I have to get flawless makeup, then keep on watching. So a very important part of getting a flawless foundation routine is the skincare and like what you put on your skin and how you take care of your skin before you even start the foundation and makeup. So before I put on makeup, I like to start with a moisturizer, and I'd say I have kind of normal skin but leaning towards the drier side, but my skin does get oily when I have makeup on it throughout the day. Just by the end of the day it gets kind of oily. So the moisturizer that I like to use every day is this one from Formula 1006. It is their Seriously Shine Free Mattifying Oil-Free Moisturizer. That's going to keep your skin super matte throughout the day but still add moisture, which is especially important during the winter because my skin has been super dry. I'm sure a lot of you guys have the same problem. This one says that it has a matte finish, keeps skin smooth and shine free all day, and it's made with aloe vera and bamboo. So it says that the aloe vera softens skin while bamboo extract absorbs excess oil. And it says that it's oil free and it won't clog pores. So this I just like to apply in the mornings. My skin's a little bit too dry to use this as my only moisturizer. I do have a different moisturizer that I use at night because this one just dries out my skin if I use it as my only moisturizer. But I do really like it for moisture in the mornings to just act as a base for foundation. Yeah, so basically you just want to make sure that you keep your skin hydrated so that way your foundation and the rest of your makeup will go on smoothly on top of your skin. Before I start with the face makeup, I think I'm going to go ahead and go in with eyes. That's something that I like to do to help prevent fallout. Sometimes, especially if you're doing a bold eye look, you can end up getting fallout on your face, which is not good, especially if you have just done your face makeup. So to help keep the flawless face makeup routine, I like to do my eyeshadow before I put on face makeup. That way I have no risk of fallout ruining the face makeup that I've just done. And since this video isn't about eye makeup, I'm just going to go ahead and do that real quick and then get into the face makeup. But I saw this photo from Smashbox's Instagram of an eye look created using the LA Cover Shop palette, and I thought it was absolutely beautiful, so I'm going to go ahead and recreate that today. Okay, so obviously I'm not done with the eyes yet, and I look a little bit crazy with just like really bold eyeshadow on and no face makeup. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the face makeup before I finish off the rest of the eyes. I'm going to start by going in with primer. And what I'm going to do to get a super flawless makeup application is actually multi-prime. So I'm going to start out with the Photo Finish Minimize Pores Primer, and I'm just going to place that everywhere that I get oily or that I have pores that I'd like to cover up, which is pretty much the T-zone, or just like especially around my nose area. And then I'm going to go in with the Smashbox Photo Finish Radiance Primer, and I'm going to use that on the rest of my face just to kind of add a little bit of glow and make my skin look hydrated and moisturized and glowy. So now I'm just going to go ahead and color correct. I did create a whole video about color correcting, and I'll leave that in the description box below if you want to check that out. But basically the whole point is to even out the colors on your skin to create a flawless base to put your foundation over. So that is definitely part of my flawless foundation routine. So I'm going to just go ahead and do that. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with foundation, and I think I mentioned before that my favorite foundation is the Smashbox Studio Skin 15-Hour Wear Hydrating Foundation. I just think this foundation goes on really flawlessly, and it feels lightweight, but it offers a lot of full coverage, so it helps to make you not look cakey. And then my favorite way to apply foundation is actually with a brush. I know a lot of people like to use a beauty blender. I think a brush just works better for me. And if you go in stippling motions with the brush, it will help the foundation to look airbrushed. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with concealers, and I'm super excited about this step because we finally got the Studio Skin concealers back in at the Wildcat shop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight and contour using my concealers. So what you want to do is you want to take a concealer that's a shade lighter than your foundation to highlight, and a concealer that's a shade darker than your foundation to contour. And also the contour should be a cool toned instead of a warm tone. For highlight, I have the shade Fair Light Neutral. And for contour, I have the shade Light Medium Cool. So I'm just going to go ahead and start out by highlighting. This is pretty much how I apply my concealer anyway. My favorite part about these concealers is that they're super full coverage, but they are also thin enough that to where they can be blended out seamlessly. So they provide a lot of coverage without looking cakey, and I think that they're so beautiful, and they're my absolute favorite concealers. Then I'm going to go ahead and go in with the contour. What you want to do with contour is draw an imaginary line from like the top of your ear to the corner of your mouth, but stop it where the end of your eyebrow is, and that should give you the right contour shape. And what you want to do is hit the edges of your face to add some dimension there. And I like to take a brush to blend out my contour as well. You just want to blend that out in circular motions. And I'm blending it down my neck too as well. So we want that to match. I'm just going to pinch the brush a little bit to get the nose. And you want to blend the contour on your forehead into the hairline so that way there's not a distinct line. So next I'm going to go ahead and bake, and I'm going to use my Smashbox Halo Hydrating Perfecting Powder. What baking is going to do is just kind of set the concealer that you've already applied. I'm going to bake only over the highlighting concealer. It allows the heat from your face to kind of melt the powder into your skin to create a flawless finish and to keep your concealer from creasing. So what you want to do is just go ahead and take your finger or your beauty blender and tap out the creases that may have formed already, because you definitely don't want to set creases. And then I like to just take my brush. I know a lot of people like to do it on a beauty blender, but I just pack my brush with powder and then I just tap that onto my face. And I like to use the Halo Hydrating Perfecting Powder specifically for that because it has a little bit of color to it. It's not translucent, so it is going to add a little bit more coverage. But since it is a hydrating powder, it's not going to look cakey or thick on your face, which I really, really like. I'm just going to go ahead and bake underneath the contour as well, which is going to go ahead and clean up the lines for us. And then you just want to leave that on for 5 to 10 minutes and then dust that off. And then next, I'm going to set my contour. You want to set your cream contour with a powder contour. I'm just going to go ahead and go in with my Smashbox Step-by-Step Contour Palette. And I'm going to take the contour shade, which is the cool tone one, and just go ahead and set the cream contour. You want to make sure you tap off your brush before you apply the contour to your skin. I just made that mistake. This brush that I'm using is the Smashbox Angled Powder Brush. It's really good for contour and like such a unique brush that I haven't really seen before, but I think it's really perfect for contour. And then if you do happen to get too much contour on, you can just take the brush that you use for powder and it will still have powder on, and you can just go ahead and diffuse that. This is actually called veiling, where you take your powder and place it over your contour and blush. It just kind of goes over your skin and makes it look like your contour is part of your skin instead of like it's sitting on top of it, so I like to do that as well. Okay, next I am going to go in with a little bit of blush. This is the Smashbox Blush and Highlight Palette, and this is in the shade Culver City Coral. Lots of coral blushes. I picked this one up to go with the eye look. So I'm going to just go in with the lighter blush. This one is a highlight. I'm just going to go in with the lighter blush and with a very, very light hand, take a blush brush. These ones are kind of bright, but you can diffuse them out. So go in with a very light hand and place that on my cheekbones and blend it up towards the temples. I like to blend blush on my forehead as well to add color there, and I've been really liking adding it to my nose as well, so I'm just going to do that. And I'm going to go in with some powder and do the veiling one more time. And you don't want to use a lot of powder for this because then you'll look cakey. Okay, so next I'm going to go in with highlight. This is the Smashbox Spotlight palette, and this is the gold one. There's also a pearl one as well. I just like to take a highlight brush like this. I'm taking the lightest one here, and you just want to take that on the high points of your face. So I like to apply that to my cheekbones and above the brow bone and down the bridge of the nose as well. And then you do want to add it to the brow bone, but I'm going to do that with eyeshadow instead. Okay, so now we're almost done with the face makeup. The last thing that I always do when I finish my face makeup is use setting spray, and I like to use this Photo Finish primer water. It says primer water, but it is a set and refresh spray, so you can use it for priming and for setting, and I like to use it for setting mostly. What I have to do is just go ahead and spray this onto my face and use a dry beauty blender to kind of pat it in, which is going to make all of the powders on your face melt together and give it a more flawless look instead of like there's powder sitting on top of your skin. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and finish off the rest of my makeup, and I'll be right back. Okay, so there is the finished makeup. This is definitely the boldest look that I've ever done, but I'm really liking it. I just saw it on Smashbox's Instagram and I thought it was so beautiful and I had to recreate it, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. So that is it for my flawless face routine. All of the makeup that I used in today's video is available at the Wildcat shop at Central Washington University. We just got in the Smashbox Studio Skin Flawless 24-hour concealers in the Wildcat shop, so be sure to come check those out. They are my all-time favorite concealer. If you've been looking for a really good concealer, this is my absolute favorite. So come in and try them out. We do have testers out. You can find your color and also test out the coverage and blendability and all of that, because I think that it's all perfect. They are super full coverage and also super blendable, which is a hard combination to find with concealers, and I just think they are perfect. They're my favorite concealer that I've ever used. I also created this eye look with the Smashbox LA Cover Shop palette, and I think I'm going to continue making looks with this in my videos, because so far I've done 2 looks using the bold section, and all the rest of them are beautiful too. I've just been kind of feeling like going out of my comfort zone a little bit with eyeshadow, so that's what I've been doing, and this palette is absolutely gorgeous, so I think that I'm going to continue using this in my videos, so stay tuned for that. Let me know if you try out any of these flawless foundation tips and how they work out for you, and also if you have any of your own tips that work well for your foundation, please leave it in the comments below and let me know, and I can try them out as well. I'd love to know what tips work for you guys as well. I literally knew that I was going to do this eye look and I still picked a shirt that doesn't match it at all, but that's fine. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at LindsayIrene16. I post information about Smashbox at the Wildcat shop. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more makeup tutorials and tip videos and Smashbox videos in general. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video.